So it'd be very silly of the alligator if he accidentally drowned himself while trying to kill his prey. So that's why that foal is there to prevent that. Now you can actually see this foal of American alligator when it has its mouth wide open. You can't see all the way down its throat because the fold is blocking your view. Now the only way you're going to be able to see down the throat is the alligator yawns or you're being eaten alive. I don't suggest the second one, but seeing alligator yawn is pretty cool. Now another thing that you guys are probably noticing is I'm only having a bucket of chicken. I'm not feeding every single one of these alligators. Well, alligators are what you call rotational feeders, which means the ones that are the hungriest will be over here jumping up at every little piece of chicken that I have in my hand, while the ones that aren't as hungry, probably a few days ago to a few hours ago, will be on the embankment or behind me, not really caring what I'm doing. But they are called opportunistic feeders for a reason, which means if I take a piece of chicken, toss it towards these alligators over there, they're still going to go for it regardless if they're hungry or not, because they're not going to pass up that opportunity to eat. But they're only going to go for it if it falls right in front of their face, otherwise they care less than doing over here. Same thing applies to these guys. That gator right there, throw it, it's still going to go for it, even though it didn't come over here and eat anything as well. Now, how are they able to find their food? Obviously, when I throw it down their throat, they're able to eat it, but how are they able to find their food in the water? Well, alligators have a good sense of smell. They can actually smell a dead carcass from about 2 miles away, but one of the key factors is they have ISOs, or sensory receptors on the bottom part of their jaw. They're exposed nerve endings that detect vibration in water. So when something is swimming, drowning, moving towards them, they can actually feel that without having to see, smell, or hear it first. So when I take a piece of chicken, toss it up in the air, hits the water, kind of makes a ripple effect. You can see some of the gators go towards it. So that's where you get your feeding frenzies. Gators grab the deer, drags it, spins, does all kinds of crazy stuff. They're actually going to feel that and move towards it, and then you have the big feeding frenzies. So why isn't there a big feeding frenzy right now? Throw a piece of chicken right there. These two gators should be ripping each other to shreds. Well, gators are very lazy animals. They're not going to attack one another unless they have to. Now, don't get me wrong, they are cannibalistic. They will in fact eat each other. They will fight. You guys might know some gators missing tails, arms, fingers, things like that. They will fight for territory and for mates. But on average, a big gator, big 13-foot gator, is not going to attack another 13-foot gator because it's a waste of their energy. So as long as we feed them enough, there's no reason for them to fight each other because they get fed on a regular basis. So it's kind of like, why would you go beat up someone your own size at a buffet when there's free food? Oh, well, not free, but when there's food all to the left and right of you. So there's no reason to spend the energy. So that's where you get this kind of area from. Now, we do have to make sure the gators are about the same size, because if we put a 13-foot gator with a 2-foot gator, it's going to get eaten. So that's what we have to make sure the gators are about the same size. Now, you guys might be thinking, I do have a bucket of chicken. This doesn't seem like a lot. Why aren't they going crazy? Well, gators are very efficient in what they eat. An adult male alligator, that big guy right over there, that 12-foot gator, right about here, only needs to eat about 80 pounds a year to survive. Reason being, they have a very slow metabolism. It takes them a very long time to actually break down that food, but also they use a lot of that food. They will use 80% of that food intake to grow bigger, stronger, faster, where they will only waste 20. We as humans are exact opposites. We will actually waste 80% of our food and only use about 20%. So that's where you kind of get the differences. Now you guys also may be hearing a slight popping sound coming from these gators. That's the pure jaw pressure of the American alligator. Alligators have a bite force of around 2,000 pounds per square inch. Now I'll give you some statistics. The average person can only squeeze about 20 psi out of their hand, 20 pounds per square inch, can only bite about 100 pounds per square inch of the mouths. 2,000 pounds, and let's put a cinder block in an adult alligator's mouth, snap it shut, and turn it to dust in one bite. So my hand stands no chance against these guys, which is why I'm extremely careful about how low I actually dangle my arm. And last but not least are the differences between alligators and crocodiles. One of my favorites, and y'all can test out as y'all walking through our park, when alligators close their mouth, you really only see their top teeth. They kind of have a mean overbite. Crocodiles, when they close their mouths, show all their teeth. Now the way is the snout. Alligators have a broad snout, kind of shaped like a U. Crocodiles have a more pointed, slender snout. In other ways where they're found, alligators are freshwater creatures. Crocodiles are more tolerant of salt water, but can be found both in fresh and in salt or brackish water. Last one is aggression. Alligators are naturally afraid of people. They will try to run away from you rather than come anywhere near you, whereas crocodiles have been known to actually hunt down and kill people. With all that being said, after an alligator's been hand-fed by a person, which is what I'm doing right now, they lose that fear. They start associating people with food. That is, every single one of these alligators you guys see today, think every single one of y'all has a piece of food for them. That's when we become dangerous. That's why we can never release an alligator back in the wild. If I take a big 12-foot gator, send him back into the wild, he might end up in someone's backyard or pool area looking for food. That's when cats, dogs, and heaven forbid, ex-girlfriends tend to go missing. So it's actually very